Being the author of your life is a being. It's a becoming. Being and becoming who you say you are. Peace. Travis Soda Well, it's pure sound daily business. To many people, to many decent people, are doing nothing to move the needle in their life and making a mark in the world. This is the backsliding we've been speaking about. And I believe if you're not moving forward, you're moving backwards. And what I've seen, experienced myself, first of all, was just thinking that I had a good heart. I knew some things. I was fun. I was good people. I was smart. I was talented. That these things would support my life. And they don't. And since I wasn't moving forward with the pieces of life that we all need to have as fundamentals and a foundation to build a life for ourselves, support ourselves, support family, in all ways, financially, emotionally, spiritually, mentally, intellectually, building ourselves up so that we can connect with others. And that not moving forward, not knowing that I wasn't moving forward, all right, it's ignorant, didn't know what I didn't know on the lowest scale. And I knew a whole lot of things. I used to skip class, quote unquote, but really I'd go to class and then I'd take a bathroom pass, or if they would give me one, I'd take a library pass and I'd just go hang out in the library for the class. And a lot of times I just go there anyway. As I said, if I get a bathroom pass, I just go hang out in the library and read or write. So I knew things. I did certain things that was really just, as we say in my school, thought, was putting on a tinseled coat to cover up what I wasn't. To cover up who I wasn't. And a lot of that was ignorance. And the ego kept me in ignorance. So now as we work to be the author of our life, to write your life the way you want to live it, for you and yours, with you and yours, and to focus in on, are you who you saying you are? What's coming to mind in this moment is a lot of you have apprehension, you have resistance, you have objection to how business is done and how organizations are run. Not because that's wrong to do business, to organize, to make money, because the story that is present, the story that is mainstream, the story that you have in your head is not a supportive one. So for instance, if you look at, let's go right to a good one. If you look at capitalism and your story of capitalism is a story of exploitation and oppression, you shouldn't like capitalism. Point being, that isn't everyone's story of what capitalism is. Or another word, that isn't everyone's definition of what capitalism is. I think since I was young into these days now, a lot of talk of like the American dream. and people coming out of that American dream, so to speak. This is why I touch on this backsliding into hopelessness. Because a lot of ways, the frame of our society is kind of coming undone. But it's not the things that need to get done that's coming undone. It's our concepts, it's our ideas, it's our definitions, it's the story we've been told, the story we've been telling ourselves. And that reality, as we talked about, introvert, our internal story, and extrovert, what we're seeing outside of ourselves. The extroverted story, the external story is so blatant in our faces that people that have been only going to their internal story and supporting it with narrative bias, they've been telling a story to support the story. That story being what their parents told them or what they bought into, what made them successful, what has given them comfort, what has supported them. That now there's so much going on in the world that is slapping people in the face that they have to recognize it. Which in some ways is good, in some ways is bad. Because on the good part of the real ones that are like, whoa, my thoughts were wrong. I need to correct those thoughts. That's great. And there's other people that are falling apart. They don't know what to do with it. They don't know what to do with the truth. And then there are those who are playing the I told you so game. And just because they were right in this regard doesn't mean they were right in all regards. When it comes back to these concepts of how business is done and how organizations are run, and their principles, I've been touching on them. I don't care what you call a thing. It's service. We're here to serve when it comes to business. And you serve yourself by how you talk to yourself. So love on yourself. Are you who you say you are? If you're not, don't beat yourself up. Unless you're into that. Sometimes I get into that. Beat myself up. But that's to get it going. To get fired up. I ain't gonna put up with myself being here no more. I'm going to record. I'm going to make these phone calls. I'm going to follow up. I'm going to create. That's my business. And the 4 parts of my business, like everyone else's, is the administrative side, the operations, the packaging up of my skill, the messaging of the skill and value I bring, and who I'm talking to, the leads. It's every business. It's even personal. Of course, bringing it all the way back to how that relates to the lifestyle design of the administration piece going with our habits, the packaging going with our interests. And as we bring it all the way back around, the self-talk being the messaging and the leads being the character. Who you are, where you at, where you want to be, what do you want to do, why do you want to do it, who you want to do it with, and who are you. And is that consistent with who you're saying you are? What you're asking for? What are you listening to? What are you saying? What are you saying to yourself? What are you saying to others? What are you listening to? What are you bringing in? What are you learning? Is it consistent with who you say you are? And if it's not, why not? Is it a permission thing? Haven't fully given yourself permission to do the things you need to do, to be who you want to be? But it goes back to, who are you saying you are? Are you saying that about yourself? Or are you telling yourself you're who you are, but it's really who someone in the past was saying you are? Whether it's parents, obviously, being number one offender. Parents, family, close ones. Bad relationships. Whether it could be these with friends like these who needs enemies, friends, or an old lover, your significant other. They were backsliding, started bringing you down with that crazy talk. Are you watching, listening to too much social media, people just talking crazy? This is self-serving talk. Again, what you're putting into your mind. Probably got a dirty mind, need a brainwashing. And we going to have a how-to of how to wash your brain. Putting on webinars, gonna be one of our core programs, our core talks. So definitely, if you listen to this, keep a lookout for that demonstration. How to clean a dirty brain. And you clean it up with replacing old, dirty thoughts, pun intended. Old, non-self-serving talk, non-self-serving thoughts, replacing those old thoughts with new ideas and new experiences. This being one of them. I appreciate you. You giving me my purpose. From when I'm recording this with hardly any listeners to you listen to this in the future, you're giving me my purpose. I'm speaking into this microphone for you. So talk easy about yourself. Love yourself. You worth it. Give yourself permission to be who you are. And I'll see you when you become that person. And let's do something together. Let's do some big things. It's Travis Sotawell. It's pure sound. Daily business. Peace.